Hello students, today I am here to talk about two infectious diseases, leprosy and syphilis. First we will see about leprosy. It is also known as Hansen's disease. Leprosy is a chronic granulomatous disease affecting mainly skin and nerves. It is caused by Mycobacterium lepra, which is slow growing mycobacterium, and it cannot be cultured in vitro. The circle in the figure indicates lesions of leprosy. Lepra bacilli. It is gram-positive obligate intracellular bacillus due to its large pool of non-functional genes. It is acid-fast and stained with modified Zn stain and 5-FrAco stain. It occurs characteristically in clumps or bundle known as globi. It has affinity for Schwann cells and cells of reticuloendothelial system. Mycobacterium lepra grows best in cooler tissues like skin, peripheral nerves, anterior chamber of the eye, upper respiratory tract and testes, and sparing warm areas of the skin like axilla, growing scalp and midline of the back. Mycobacterium lepra can be demonstrated in the tissue sections, split skin smears, scrapings from margins of dermal lesions and nasal smears. Techniques for demonstration of Mycobacterium lepra. It is demonstrated by acid-fast or modified Zn staining, 5-FrAco staining, Gomori methyamine silver staining, or molecular methods like PCR. Zn staining is similar as for Mycobacterium tuberculosis, but only difference is Mycobacterium lepra are decolorized by lower concentration, 5% concentration of sulfuric acid, because they are less acid fast. Figure shows lepra bacilli in the Zn staining. Another figure showing lepra bacilli stained by 5-FrAco staining. The slit smear technique gives a quantitative measure of Mycobacterium lepra. When stained with Zn method and examined under 100x lens, it gives density of bacteria in the lesion known as bacterial index. Bacterial index scored from 1 to 6 is termed as multibacillary leprosy, while score of 0 is termed as paucibacillary leprosy. Grading of lepra bacilli according to number of bacilli per field. No bacilli per 100 field indicates 0 grading, plus 1 grading includes 1 to 10 bacilli per 100 fields, plus 2 grade includes 1 to 10 bacilli per 10 fields, plus 3 grade includes 1 to 10 bacilli per field, plus 4 grade includes 10 to 100 bacilli per field, plus 5 grade includes 100 to 1000 bacilli per field, and plus 6 grade includes more than 1000 bacilli per field. Incidency of leprosy. It is endemic in areas with hot and moist climates and in poor tropical countries. According to the WHO, India accounts for 1/3 of all registered leprosy cases globally. Even in India, the disease is seen more commonly in regions like Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Pondicherry, West Bengal and Assam. Mode of transmission of leprosy. It is slow communicable disease. The incubation period between first exposure and appearance of signs of disease varies from 2 to 20 years, with average being 3 years. The infectivity of leprosy may be due to direct contact with untreated leprosy patients, maternal-fetal transmission across the placenta, or transmission of milk of leprosy patient to infant. Immunology of leprosy. Mycobacterium lepra do not produce any toxins like tuberculosis, but the damage to the tissues is immune mediated, which is T cell mediated delayed hypersensitivity reaction, and it is due to following factors: antigens of the lepra bacilli, genotype of the host, T cell response, and humoral response. First is antigens of the lepra bacilli. The cell wall of the lepra bacilli contains large amount of lepra-specific phenolic glycolipid and another antigen, lipoarabinomannan. These two antigens determine the immune reaction of host lymphocytes and macrophages. Another unique feature of Mycobacterium lepra is invasion in peripheral nerves, which is due to binding of trisaccharide of Mycobacterium lepra to the basal lamina of Schwann cells. Second factor is genotype of the host. The genetic composition of the host, known as HLA type, determines which antigen of lepra bacilli should interact with host immune cells. Accordingly, the host response to the lepra bacilli is variable. Third factor is T cell response. There is variation in T cell response in different individuals infected with lepra bacilli. Unlike tubercle bacilli, there is not only activation of CD4 T cells but also activation of CD8 T cells. These CD4 T cells act not only as helper and promoter cells but also assume the role of cytotoxicity. The two subpopulations of CD4 T cells, Th1 and Th2 cells, produce different types of cytotoxins in response to stimuli from the lepra bacilli. In tuberculoid leprosy, the response is largely by CD4 T cells, while in lepromatous leprosy, although there is excess of CD8 suppressor T cells, they fail to destroy the bacilli due to cell defect. The fourth factor is humoral response. The patients of lepromatous leprosy have high levels of immunoglobulins like IgG, IgA, IgM, and antibodies to mycobacterial antigens. Lepromin skin test. In this, a tiny sample of leprosy antigen is injected under the skin subcutaneously, usually in the forearm. The site of the injection is marked and is examined for reaction first after 3 days and then again after 21 days. Early reaction after 3 days is indicated by redness and induration and is known as Fernandez reaction. The late reaction after 21 days is indicated by formation of nodule measuring more than 5 mm and is known as Mitsuda reaction. The lepromin test indicates that cell-mediated immunity is suppressed in lepromatous leprosy, while person with tubercular leprosy show good immune response. This lepromin test is not a diagnostic test but used for classification of leprosy on the basis of immune response. Classification of leprosy is broadly classified into two main types, lepromatous type and tubercular type. Lepromatous type represents low resistance. Remember L for L. Lepromatous type, low resistance. Tubercular type shows high resistance. Both these types represent two opposite poles of host immune response and also known as polar forms of leprosy. Those cases who do not fall into either of the two poles are classified as borderline types. Accordingly, leprosy is classified into 5 groups: tuberculoid polar group, borderline tuberculoid, mid borderline or dimorphic type, borderline lepromatous type, or lepromatous polar type. Reactional leprosy. There may be two types of lepra reactions: type 1 or reversal reaction and type 2 or erythema nodosum leprosum. Type 1 reversal reactions. The polar forms of leprosy are stable and do not undergo any change in the clinohistopathological picture, while borderline forms are unstable and may move across the spectrum in either direction with upgrading or downgrading of patient's immune status. Accordingly, there may be two types of borderline reaction: upgrading reaction or downgrading reaction. Upgrading reaction, characterized by increased cell-mediated immunity. It occurs in patients of borderline lepromatous type on treatment who upgrade or shift towards tuberculoid type. Histologically, it shows increase of lymphocytes, edema of the lesions, necrosis in the center, and reduced bacterial index. Second one is downgrading reaction. It is characterized by decreased cellular immunity and seen in borderline tuberculoid type who downgrade towards the lepromatous type. Histologically, the lesions show dispersal of the granulomas and increased bacterial index. Type 2 erythema nodosum leprosum. It occurs in lepromatous patients after treatment. It is characterized by tender cutaneous nodules, fever, iridocyclitis, synovitis, and lymph node involvement. Figure showing lesions of erythema nodosum leprosum marked by tender cutaneous nodules. Left side figure shows tender cutaneous nodules over chest and right side figure shows nodules over leg. Histologically, the lesions show infiltration by neutrophils, eosinophils, and prominence of vasculitis. This inflammation extends deep into the subcutaneous fat, causing paniculitis. Bacterial load is increased. Figure showing erythema nodosum leprosum. Here the inflammation is mainly in the septa between the fat lobules centered around the feeding vessels. Histopathology of leprosy. For diagnosis and classification of leprosy, skin biopsy from the margin of the lesions is submitted. For histopathological evaluation in all the suspected cases of leprosy, the following guidelines should be followed. First is cell type of granuloma, nerve involvement, and bacterial load. Histopathology of lepromatous polar type. Here in the dermis there is proliferation of foamy macrophages, particularly around the blood vessels, nerves, and dermal appendages known as lepra cells or Virchow cells. The lepra cells are heavily filled with acid-fast bacilli demonstrated as compact globular mass or globi. This dermal infiltrate is separated from epidermis by subepidermal uninvolved clear zone. and the overlying epidermis is thinned out, flat, and may even ulcerate. Figure showing lepromatous leprosy. Lepra cells or foamy histiocytes are seen in the dermis, and arrow shows Gran's zone which separates dermis from the epidermis. Another figure showing numerous foamy macrophages containing lepra bacilli. Histopathology of tuberculoid polar leprosy. Here, dermal lesions show granulomas resembling hard tubercles, which are composed of epithelioid cells, Langerhans giant cells, and peripheral rim of lymphocytes. These lesions have predilection for dermal nerves, which may get destroyed. The granulomatous infiltrate erodes the basal layer of the epidermis, and there is no clear zone between dermis and epidermis. The lepra bacilli are very few in number. This figure showing hard tubercle or granuloma of tuberculoid leprosy. Histopathology of borderline types of leprosy. Borderline tuberculoid form. It shows epithelioid cells and plenty lymphocytes. Lepra bacilli are scanty and found around nerves. Borderline lepromatous form shows predominance of histiocytes, few epithelioid cells, and some lymphocytes. Here, numerous lepra bacilli are seen. And mid-borderline or dimorphic form shows sheets of epithelioid cells with some lymphocytes. Lepra bacilli are present mostly in the nerves. Differences between lepromatous and tuberculoid leprosy. Skin lesions in the lepromatous leprosy are symmetrical, multiple, maculopapular or nodular lesions, giving leonine facies appearance. While skin lesions in the tuberculoid leprosy are asymmetrical, single or few lesions which are hypopigmented, erythematous and macular. Nerve involvement in the lepromatous leprosy is present, but sensory disturbance is less severe, which is more severe in tuberculoid leprosy. Histopathologically, the lepromatous leprosy shows collection of lepra cells in the dermis separated from epidermis by clear zone. The tuberculoid leprosy shows hard tubercle similar to granulomatous lesion with absence of clear zone. Bacteriologically, lepromatous leprosy shows lepra cells which are highly positive for lepra bacilli, seen as globi or cigarettes in pack appearance. While in tuberculoid leprosy, lepra bacilli are very few, seen in destroyed nerves as granular or beaded forms. Immunity is suppressed in lepromatous type, while there is good immune response in tuberculoid type. Lepromin test is negative in lepromatous leprosy and positive in tuberculoid leprosy. Figure showing leonine facies appearance. There is madarosis, means loss of hair or eyebrows, depressed nasal bridge, broadening of nose, and thickened ear lobule. Now we will move towards syphilis. It is a venereal disease caused by spirochetes, Treponema pallidum. Other treponemal diseases are Yos and Pinta. Causative organism is Treponema pallidum, which is coiled spiral filament 10 micrometers long that moves actively in fresh preparations. The spirochetes Treponema pallidum cannot be stained by usual methods, but it can be demonstrated in the exudates and tissues by dark ground illumination, fluorescent antibody technique, silver impregnation technique, or PCR. Immunology. Treponema pallidum does not produce any endotoxin or exotoxin. The pathogenesis of the lesions is due to host immune response. There are two types of serological tests for syphilis, treponemal and non-treponemal. Treponemal serological test, they measure antibody to the Treponema pallidum antigen. They are fluorescent treponemal antibody absorbed test, agglutination assays like microheme agglutination assay for T. pallidum and T. pallidum passive heme agglutination test. Non-treponemal serological test, they measure non-specific antibodies like IgM and IgG immunoglobulins directed against cardiolipin lecithin cholesterol complex, and they are more commonly used. These are Ritter protein complement fixation test, which is test of choice for rapid diagnosis, and another is Venereal Disease Research Laboratory VDRL test. Mode of transmission of syphilis: sexual intercourse resulting in lesions over glans, penis, vulva, vagina or cervix. Person to person contact with lesions on lips, tongue or fingers. Transfusion of infected blood, or materno-fetal transmission in congenital syphilis if the mother is infected. Stages of acquired syphilis. Acquired syphilis is divided into 3 stages depending upon the period after which the lesions appear and type of lesions. These are primary, secondary and tertiary syphilis. Primary syphilis. The typical lesion of primary syphilis is chancre, which appears on genitals or extragenital sites in 2 to 4 weeks after exposure to infection. Initially, the lesion is a painless papule which ulcerates in the center. So, the fully developed chancre is an indurated lesion with central ulceration accompanied by regional lymphadenitis. Figure showing chancre of the lip. Histologically, there is dense infiltrate of mainly plasma cells, some lymphocytes and few macrophages. There is perivascular aggregation of mononuclear cells producing periarteritis and arteritis. And also there is proliferation of vascular endothelium. Figure showing histology of primary syphilis. In the right side figure, there is proliferation of endothelium marked by arrow, and also there is presence of plasma cell rich infiltrate. Left side figure shows perivascular inflammatory infiltrate with a few plasma cells. Secondary syphilis. Inadequately treated cases of primary syphilis develop mucocutaneous lesions and painless lymphadenopathy in 2 to 3 months after the exposure. These mucocutaneous lesions may be in the form of mucus patches over mouth, pharynx, vagina and generalized skin eruptions. Secondary syphilis stage is highly infective stage and spirochetes can be easily demonstrated in the mucocutaneous lesions. Figure showing lesions of secondary syphilis. There is rash on the chest, palms, foot and papules over back. After a latent period of appearance of secondary lesions and about 2 to 3 years following first exposure, tertiary lesions of syphilis appear. Lesions of tertiary syphilis are less infective than other two stages, and they are of two types: syphilitic gamma and diffuse lesions of tertiary syphilis. Syphilitic gamma. It is solitary localized rubbery lesion with central necrosis. It is seen in the organs like liver, testes, bone and brain. In the liver, this gamma is associated with scarring of hepatic parenchyma known as hepar-lobatum. Figure showing gamma of the nose, and on the right side gamma of the liver known as hepar-lobatum. Histologically, it has following features: central coagulative necrosis resembling caseation with surrounding zone of palisaded macrophages with many plasma cells, some lymphocytes, giant cells and fibroblast. Figure showing histology of syphilitic gamma of liver. So central coagulative necrosis surrounded by plasma cells, lymphocytes, giant cell and fibroblast. Diffuse lesions of tertiary syphilis. These lesions appear following widespread dissemination of spirochetes in the body. Lesions are predominantly seen in the cardiovascular and nervous systems. Cardiovascular syphilis mainly involves thoracic aorta. The wall of aorta is weakened and dilated due to syphilitic aortitis. It results in aortic aneurysm, incompetency of aortic valve and narrowing of mouths of coronary ostia. Neurosyphilis may manifest as meningovascular syphilis affecting chiefly the meninges, tabes dorsalis affecting the spinal cord, or general paresis affecting the brain. Figure showing various stages of syphilis. Primary syphilis shown as chancre of the penis. Secondary syphilis shows mucus patches and eruptions over face. In the tertiary syphilis, there is gamma of the liver known as hepar-lobatum, aortic aneurysm and neurosyphilis. Congenital syphilis. Congenital syphilis may develop in a fetus of more than 16 weeks gestation who is exposed to maternal spirochetemia. Morphological features: there is saddle sepid nose deformity due to destruction of ridge of the nose. There is presence of characteristic Hutchinson's teeth, which are small, widely spaced, peg-shaped permanent teeth. Mucocutaneous lesions of acquired secondary syphilis. Bony lesions like epiphysitis and periostitis. Interstitial keratitis with corneal opacity. Diffuse fibrosis in the liver and interstitial fibrosis of lungs. Figure showing characteristic Hutchinson's triad of congenital syphilis. including Hutchinson's teeth, interstitial keratitis, and eighth nerve deafness. Other manifestations are saddle nose, frontal boozing, Clutton joint, or painless swelling of joint. Histologically, the basic morphology is seen in all the affected organs, which is perivascular plasma cell rich inflammatory infiltrate and endothelial cell proliferation. Many spirochetes can be demonstrated in the involved tissues. Okay. So this is all about leprosy and syphilis. Thank you.